Welcome to Novelish Universe, where pages come alive and story touch the soul. Step into a realm of sorrow and love and fate, where every word whispers emotion and every moment leaves a mark. Let your imagination soar. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for regular updates on new novels. Today, we begin a powerful journey with the novel Risking My Life, Proposing to Miss Hazel. The story begins now. Chapter 23. Done. Felix whispered quietly and clenched his fist. Who owed my brother a favor? If it was 3 weeks ago. Wait. Brother, are you talking about that noble who ran away to Cromwell Castle? Felix gave a confident thumbs up. He had been spouting nonsense about divine fate before, but it seemed he really had something to rely on. Oh my. He actually had a plan. It felt like I had been hit on the back of the head. While I just blinked in shock, a middle-aged man handed me a business card decorated with gold leaf. Lady, it's a pleasure to meet you. Please call me Caden. Yes. Please call me Hazel. When I checked the name on the card, I almost fell over in shock. Caden Bassar, the head of the Bassar Merchant Guild. The very name I had only seen in newspapers was standing right in front of me. Why would someone so important come to this shabby shop? Thinking I didn't recognize him, my brother leaned close and whispered, "The Bazaar Guild is the largest merchant guild in Venu. That man is the richest person in Venu." I know. If I didn't know that, I shouldn't call myself a shopkeeper. Who wouldn't know Caden, the golden-handed merchant who turned everything he touched into gold? But still, how did you know? You really think I'm an idiot, don't you? I didn't deny it. He shot me a look, then straightened his expression and stepped forward confidently towards Mr. Caden. His shoulders were straight, and he looked dependable today. I didn't expect the guildmaster to come in person. Shall we serve you some tea? Please have a seat and let's talk. Good job, Felix. Let's grab this opportunity. But Mr. Caden politely refused. Unfortunately, no tea. I don't have much time. Let's get straight to the point. He pointed at the bottles of diluted holy water, filling the wall. First, I'll purchase all of the diluted holy water. Tlan, tlan, tlan. The day gold coins pile up in Golden General Store is not far away. My brother had confidently said everything would sell, and things were happening just as he had said. What is this? Is this a dream? There's no way my life could go this smoothly. Felix clasped his hands behind his back and flashed me 2 thumbs up. I couldn't take my eyes off his hands. And Mr. Caden's sharp gaze scanned the shop. Then it stopped on the new products on the counter. His black eyes flashed. What are those? They're new products. I peeked out from behind Felix's back to introduce our ambitious new items. The legendary merchant was right in front of me. I couldn't miss this chance. This one relieves 3 days' worth of fatigue. It's called Sleep Cleared. And that one helps even someone who hasn't slept for 3 days fall asleep. It's called Sleep Gently. Oh. Fortunately, Mr. Caden seemed very interested. He listened seriously as I explained how I made the health drinks using holy water and Luden Village's specialty products. He had said he didn't have time, but before I knew it, he was sitting on a stool at the counter. After I finished explaining, he touched the new products thoughtfully and then looked at my brother. Mr. Felix, you have a very clever younger sister. Is he talking about me? When I asked in confusion, he nodded naturally. Miss Hazel has business talent. I would like to take her to Venu and train her. I have business talent? I knew I was hardworking and careful, but I never thought I was especially clever or creative. To have Caden, the golden-handed merchant, recognize my talent? It was beyond imagination. My chest felt full, and I couldn't control my expression. My lips kept twitching upward, and I felt like I was floating. But someone was even more excited than me. Our Hazel is a bit of a genius. It was Felix, the overproud older brother. Whenever I was praised, he was twice as happy as I was. Sometimes he embarrassed me by overdoing it. Just as expected from someone who leads a great merchant guild, your judgment is excellent. Like right now. Brother, stop. I poked his side, but honestly, I wasn't upset. Stop what? I'm just telling the truth. Oh, brother. Mr. Caden watched us and chuckled. Perhaps he liked us because he withdrew his claim of being busy and even stayed for tea. Unlike when Axel demanded tea, I brought out the high-quality tea I had saved and served Mr. Caden. Then I'll send someone in 3 days. Yes, we'll have the prototypes ready by then. The label design doesn't need to be too refined. It would sell better if it reflects Luden Village and Miss Hazel's own style. Before I realized it, we were seeing him off. On the counter sat a huge sack filled with 150 silver coins. With the advance payment for the prototypes, it was 180 silver coins. We wouldn't have to worry about taxes for half a year. And in my hand was something even more valuable than that sack of silver coins. Caden's golden business card. I gained something more precious than money. Even if it seems like a loss now, we'll be repaid many times over soon. Amazingly, my brother's words from 3 weeks ago were true. A loyal noble like the ones in fairy tales really existed. Was this really just coincidence? After Mr. Caden left, my sense of reality slowly returned. An unanswered question circled in my mind. Brother didn't even get a fortune told by Grandma Lisa. How did he know this would happen? It was almost as if he had seen the future. But seeing the future or turning back time was impossible, even with magic, so I pushed the thought away. I don't know. Let's just enjoy it. Why can't I just be happy when luck walks in on its own? I sighed and decided to simply be happy like Felix. Hazel, what's with that expression? It's just, I can't believe it. It feels like a dream. Put your hands in the sack of silver coins. If you grab them with both hands, all your useless worries will disappear. I followed his advice and plunged both hands into the sack. The cold silver coins wrapped around my fingers, and a strange peace filled me. He was right. Sometimes his simple nature was helpful. A sly, fairy-like smile spread across my lips. When Felix saw me smile, he grinned as if he owned the whole world. Hazel, have you ever touched this many silver coins? No, I barely managed to save 30 silver coins a month. So, are you happy? Yes, I'm happy. The bright smile on his face slowly faded. His eyes turned red. He sniffed and suddenly pulled me into a tight hug so I couldn't see his face. Hazel, your suffering is over. Now happiness begins. You need to get used to being happy. My nose stung too. I didn't want to cry on such a happy day, but for some reason, I felt like I might.
Chapter 24. Today, tell me everything you want to eat, Hazel. I'll make it all for you. In that case, beef. I want beef and salted salmon. In this remote mountain village, the cheapest ingredients are the vegetables and herbs that grow wild in the yard. The most expensive ingredient is fish. The only fresh fish comes from red-tailed fish that gatherers sometimes catch in the mountain lake. They're small and troublesome to prepare, so people don't eat them often. So when the villagers talk about fish, they mean salted trout or salmon brought in from Venu through Cromwell Castle. Of course, it's expensive. It's so expensive the sellers can name any price. I've only eaten trout once, and I've never had salmon before. Among meats, beef is the most expensive. Cows and pigs take much more effort to raise than chickens, ducks, or geese. We bought 1 piece of beef tenderloin and a chunk of salmon belly from Uncle Carson's butcher shop. Uncle Carson wiped his eyes when he saw us buying the most expensive items in his store without even asking for a discount. He looks like he could punch a cow to death with his bare hands, yet he's the softest-hearted man in the village. I honestly don't know how he handles meat every day. On the way home, the moon above the rooftops looked unusually bright. It wasn't even full yet, but maybe because my eyes kept filling with tears, it looked bigger and rounder than a full moon. I kept chatting endlessly, trying to suppress the emotions rising inside me and the familiar anxiety creeping up. Opa, Mary Bell said if you mash soft-cooked salmon belly and mix it with cream cheese and pasta, it tastes heavenly. Okay, I'll make that. It'll taste good with some chopped parsley, too. Is there anything I can help? Lying still is helping. Don't touch anything. That I can do. But I couldn't lie down. I felt restless. I wandered around the house and finally sat at the table and spread out a sack full of silver coins in front of me. Staring at the money made my wandering thoughts quiet down a little. Is this what people mean by money meditation? I think I understand why the rich are happy. But instead of the silver coins, my attention kept drifting to the sizzling sound of meat cooking, the rich smell of cream cheese spreading through the house, and my brother shaping small ribbon-shaped pasta with his large hands. Today's happiness was bought with silver coins, but without family to share it with, it would have felt lonely. That thought suddenly crossed my mind. Opa, yeah? What was I like when I was little? My brother doesn't like it when I ask about the time before we settled in Luden village, about the memories I lost. His answer is always the same. I was ordinary. But whenever he says that, he looks very sad. So once I grew older, I stopped asking about my childhood. Yet, on a day like today, I kept thinking about our parents whose faces I can't even remember. If they were the ones who gave birth to my brother and I think they would be proud. Would they praise us and say we did well? If they were the ones who gave birth to my brother and I think they would. That's why the question slipped out. My brother's hands slowed as he mashed the potatoes. He cut a piece of butter and placed it gently on top. My childhood... From the way he dragged out his words, it seemed he was thinking of what ordinary past to tell me this time. Though he always says the same thing, that we lived happily in a small house at the edge of a village, that we grew up under a strict father and a kind mother, sometimes going hungry, living simply with nothing special. But I know that's not true. I must have been very happy as a child. In my last memory, I was wearing lace-trimmed clothes and a jeweled ring on my finger, even though I lost everything. That's probably why, no matter how happy I am, I can't shake the anxiety that I might lose everything again. Sometimes I can't even tell the difference between happy excitement and the anxiety shaking the ground beneath me. My heart trembles the same way for both. My brother couldn't answer my question until the table was fully set. Beefsteak, salmon pasta, strawberry salad, and mashed potatoes were placed on the table one by one. This is as good as a noble's feast. Thanks to Mr. Barron, I had a luxurious day already. It seems I'm lucky with food lately. Opa, this is amazing. It looks so delicious. I don't even know what to eat first. I showed off a bit today. Did I make too much? No way. No problem at all. It'll all disappear into my stomach. Fine, you eat it all. You sit down too. After making sure my brother picked up his fork, I scooped up a big bite of salmon pasta. Just like Maribel said, it melted in my mouth. Salty, rich, creamy oiliness spread across my tongue. It truly tasted like wealth. My brother neatly sliced the steak and placed it on my plate with some broccoli. I gently pushed the broccoli aside with the back of my fork and only took the steak. Mr. Felix shook his head and sighed. Our Hazel used to eat broccoli well when she was little. And carrots, spinach, and asparagus too. I don't know what happened. You're lying. No, that part is true. Tch, that kind of childhood story I really didn't need to know. Late at night, near the territory of monsters, far from the center of Luden village, in a place where villagers never dare to wander, two bold men appeared. The man with the black eye patch said first, "I had a feeling, but I didn't expect you to really be here." Red eyes curved gently in the darkness. "It's been a while, Mr. Caden." The moment Caden met his eyes, he unconsciously stepped back. No one could relax in front of this man. Just meeting his eyes made your legs weaken and your mouth get dry. The smiling face was only a mask. Just like his father, no one knew when his true nature might burst out. The red-eyed man stepped forward, closing the distance Caden had created. "Still, you came all the way to this mountain village to see me. Perhaps your heart is leaning towards me." Caden swallowed. Though instinctively afraid, he was still a man who spoke his mind. "I only came to confirm your location, nothing more. The merchant union will not support any prince until the civil war ends." The red-eyed man twisted his lips lazily. Caden frowned in annoyance. "And I didn't come to Luden village just because of you. It was at your teacher's request." "Ah, my teacher. I heard he finally fled the capital and arrived at Cromwell Castle. Is he well?" "There's no need to pretend. Lord Hazel knows you protected him." "Count Hazel? 15 years ago, he taught all 13 princes. He had been Caden's close friend since their academy days." "My teacher really is sharp." Caden shook his head at the prince's shameless attitude. "There's no understanding this man. I should leave quickly." He was about to offer a polite farewell when the prince suddenly stopped him. "So, how was she?" "Pardon?" "You met Miss Hazel." "Though?" "She's so cute it makes your head spin, and unbelievably smart. Hardworking, speaks clearly and confidently. The more you see her, the more you realize she's someone destined for greatness." "Why are you telling me this?" "I just wanted to brag." Crazy bastard. It was true that Miss Hazel was too talented to stay buried in a rural village, but of all people, she had to catch that madman's eye. Praying for her future to remain peaceful, Caden pressed his aching temple.
The end. Thank you for wandering through today's tale in the novelish universe. If the story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to join our growing realm of dreamers. Until we meet again, keep your heart open and your mind enchanted.